Good morning. We are back live. Man, it's been a minute. Live for the first time in 3 weeks. Live for only the second time in 2024. So I guess we've got plenty to talk about today. Man, I started the year sick. It has been a kind of a tough start to the year for me. Certainly in terms of income as well, I've barely been out. Tried to stay active on YouTube. I've been doing a good job, I think, of getting one short out every day. I think at the end of last year, I was telling y'all that was going to be a goal of mine. And if a short hits 1,000 views, I'm happy, 1,000's kind of the goal. We've certainly been averaging well over that. But even if they flop, like my one yesterday, was like 70 views or something like that. Hey, 7% of the goal is still better than none. The apps, I've been paying attention to the apps, even though I haven't been working them very much. I've been paying attention. There's been times that I've had the apps on, and I've noticed there's not very many orders to choose from, so I don't know what to expect today. But I'm thinking we might not make very much money on the live stream today. But that's why I came with plenty to talk about. How's it going, Steve? How's it going, Kevin? That's better. I think it was Friday the Spurs came to Charlotte. And I told y'all before that I was really upset that I sold those tickets kind of on accident. I sold them, well, I got bad numbers when I did my research. Every time I sell a ticket, I have to do my research and figure out, okay, what's this ticket worth? And I got bad numbers. I don't know. I don't really know how. I don't know if Ticketmaster glitched or what. So I listed the ticket probably 50% less than what is, well, maybe not that much, 30 or 40% less than what it was actually worth. So of course it sold it sold overnight. And I was thinking like, what? It sold a little bit too quick for comfort. When you got something for sale at a yard sale or Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And all of a sudden, like Marketplace, you get like 30 messages in the first hour. And you're like, oh crap. I did not, I'm not asking enough for this. That's what happened to me with that pair of tickets. So they sold, it was the first game ever since I've been a Hornet season ticket holder that hey, here we go. First look of the week is a 325 5.6. We can't do that. Yeah, so it was the first game ever that I considered rebuying tickets, and I thought, okay, well, I can still, like, we can just move up into the second level and still go to the game and still make a little bit of money, and not as much as I should have, but I can take a small profit still go see Wemby. Long story short, I decided, okay, let's not do that. I just took the profit, even though it could have been more profit. I just took it. What ends up happening is the Spurs came to Charlotte. I think it was this last weekend. I think it was Friday of last week. And Wemby didn't play. He sat out the game. And I pull up the box score, and I'm like shocked, and I show Allison, and I'm like, oh my goodness, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we would have saved that ticket and gone, and Wemby hadn't played? You know how upset I would have been. So in the end, the mistake that I made ends up being one that I'm very comfortable with, because without Wemby playing, what is that ticket worth, man? I dodged a bullet there, so I guess Wemby will have to make his Charlotte debut next year, maybe, hopefully. It always upsets me. These stars come to Charlotte and they don't want to play here. Kevin said, this is my 20th year working at the Citrus Connection bus terminal in Lakeland, Florida. Congratulations. Here we go again with another 50 cent per mile. Actually, worse than that, because we'd have to make a return trip. Look at that. 12 miles south. Out into the middle of absolute nowhere. I mean, there's nothing down there. Hello, Jody. Glad to see you up and running. I'm glad to see you up and typing in the live chat. I hope things are well for you. What's another thing in 2024 that's new? Allison has got me into Wordle. So let's go ahead. Have y'all ever played Wordle? Listen, I'm always like late to trends. So I've heard about Wordle for like the last several years, I think, but I never realized that I would actually like it. And I've been doing a couple, and I'm like, oh yeah. And so like the first few that I did, I was beating Allison at it. And so I was like, okay, this is cool. Like this is a very similar offer down to the same area for $8.75. It's still not good enough to go all the way down there. Steve says, I used to play Wordle. Yeah, the kind of thing you get bored of eventually. Stack order, those are, that's $2 $3 orders right there. That's not worth it either. I don't want to reward no tippers. I don't know. I've been enjoying it. And then what happened in the very last, I think yesterday. It took me all 6 tries for the first time. I mean, I think I was getting them in either 3 or 4 tries consistently. Yesterday's word took me all 6 tries, and that, in the weirdest way, that actually makes me like want to play the game even more, because it pissed me off. It's like the first time I actually lost. I mean, I know I still got the mission done, but like it pissed me off. What was the word? I can't remember. What was the word? North. The word was north. And I had some information, and I knew what the structure of the word was going to be. I knew it was going to be ORTH. And before I thought to try north, I tried worth. WORTH. And then after that didn't work, I tried fourth like an idiot. FORTH. That was my 5th try. And then I was like, crap, I didn't even realize I had the N still. And then I put in north, and that was the right answer. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I should have gotten that in 4 too. If I would have been thinking, I would have tried north before worth. This Uber Eats right here is 17.5 miles. Can't do it. Here we go with a 12-mile DoorDash, 2 pickups, only $9. They want me to go all the way to North Carolina for $9. Can't do it. So we're going to play Wordle today. We're going to do today's, I've got a little streak going. We're going to do today's Wordle. So if you play it, spoiler alert, don't watch right now. So let's go. Hello, Kevin. I need somebody, I'll let the chat start us out today. I need a 5-letter word that has all different letters in the word. Y'all can choose. But I'm going to take it from there. But y'all can give me my starting word. Kevin says Trump. I like that. Let's do it. First word, Trump. Let's see how it performs. All right, so T is the first letter. All right, so now let me use my brain here to try and figure this out. So T is the first letter. R-U-M-P are not in the word. All right, I like to try a bunch of like vowels early. I think it's useful to know like is A-E-I-O-U in the word. So I'm thinking we try teach right here. That'll tell us, do we have an E or an A? CH is a common ending of words. So let's try teach. T-E-A-C-H. All right, see how helpful that is? So now we know that E and A are in the word and CH aren't. All right, so this third try is where I like to usually get, this is where I like to get the word correct right here. All right, so we got E and A, but they're not going to be, it's not going to be TEA though. So it could be, it could be, table. I'm thinking table. T-A-B-L-E. It could be taste. S-T-E. But I don't like the words where they put 2 of the same letter twice. And I don't know if they even do that. So I'm thinking we try table. I'm thinking what else could it be before I try table? There's actually not that many words I think it could even be. I'm thinking it's table. Let's try table. Gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, that's not even close. That didn't give us much information at all. What in the... So A is in the word, but it can't be the second or third letter. It's got to be the fourth or fifth letter. What in the world? And E's got to be in it. Okay, so it's got to be T something EA. Tweak? 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 Bang, we got it. Okay. All right, four's not that bad. So there's my stats right there. I've played I've played 6 times. And twice I got it in 3 words. 3 times I got it in 4 words, and then yesterday it took me 6. So what's up, Tony? What's up, Giggity? Tweak. I was convinced it was going to be table. Excuse me. Tony says finally over the damn RSV. Yeah, I mean I think it's been going around. Everybody's been getting hit. You know, election excuse me. Election year. Nothing surprises me. I'm telling y'all. 18 minutes into the live stream, you're about to see an ad. And we haven't. What's the best order we've looked at so far? $9 for 12 miles might be the best we've seen. I've been thinking about doing plasma again. Temporarily. I think I literally think we might have to accept something like this. 11.21 for 8.5. Go all the way out to Newport. I'm going to accept the 11.21 for 8.5 miles. We're going to go to Newport. I'm going to change my location on Spark. That way we're eligible for that Walmart over there. Excuse me. Freaking Summit Cola went down the wrong pipe. Tony says, has Fetched been giving you any offers? To be honest with you, I don't think I've even looked. I don't know. I don't even want to say that they haven't been, because I'm not actually sure they haven't been. I think they might be. Let's hope we can real quick get a DoorDash that pairs well with this. That's not going to do it. If we can get a stack taking us out to Newport before we go pick this up, that'd be best case scenario. Oh, you know what? This is going to Bojangles. Last time I did a Grubhub to this Bojangles, it did not have the order. So I ended up driving out there for nothing. Dude, we should literally call them and make sure they have this.
Bojangles can help you?
Hey, I'm just about to drive out to y'all for a Grubhub for Lee. I just want to make sure y'all have that order before I head that way. Do you have an order for Lee?
Oh, yeah. This is new. Somebody calling. Hang on a minute. Y'all got an order for a Lee for Grubhub? Yeah. Yep, it's here.
Okay, I'll come get it. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm not about to drive 8 miles and then get $1 for a canceled order. I learned my lesson on that one. That last DoorDash right there was good. It was $12 for 5.5 miles, but it was going the complete. It's going the complete opposite direction we're heading. Okay, so all right, it took 20 minutes to get an $11 order. We can recover as long as the apps keep us busy from here on out. We can recover. Let me go ahead and turn Spark on. I think that's really the key here would be just to get a Spark lined up while we're over there. I realized that I needed to go live again in the last week or so because I thought, hey, there's a chance that maybe the people that watch me are like missing my live, like craving my live stream in the way that I was missing and craving the Vivek Ramaswamy live streams. Y'all, I never thought I would be into this kind of a thing, but I became obsessed with watching his live streams during the campaign in Iowa. I mean, brother was saying the same thing over and over and over, but I was still listening to it because I just thought it was so entertaining. I was very engaged with it, and it was cool because he would do the same opening monologue virtually every time. But and I saw it live in Rock Hill. I saw it live in Rock Hill, in the flesh. And the things he was saying in Iowa were very, very similar to what he was saying here, obviously. And but at the end of the live streams, he would meet all these people like he did me, and he would take pictures with people, and he would talk to them. And I got a little bit jealous because he was spending more time with those people than I got with them. He was giving like full-on conversations to the people he was meeting. And I was like, dang, man, I wish I lived in Iowa right now. For the first time in my life, I wish I lived in Iowa. I could have followed the bus all day. I could have gone to like every single Vivek event and just followed him around and like DoorDashed on the way from county to county. One DoorDash in each county in between events. I think I could have pulled it off. That could have been fun for the YouTube channel. I might have to think about that in 2028. We might go to Iowa for a little bit. But dude, I've been like, ever since he suspended the campaign, I'm like, darn, how did he actually become one of my favorite YouTubers? How crazy is that? I want to I just miss watching him operate. And then at one point I was like, man, I wish they didn't turn the live stream off when he gets on the bus. So like in between he would do 4 or 5 events a day, easy. And his live streams on YouTube would end. They're all there, by the way. You can go back and watch them. So what I'm talking about is documented, but I would think, man, I wish that they wouldn't cut the live stream and that they'd keep it going on the bus. And then toward the end there, for like the final week, before the caucus, they started going live on the bus too. And he would take phone calls. And he would take questions over the phone. And I was just so impressed. I was like, this dude does not stop. And I think that we will see more and more of that over time. I think eventually what I'm doing here on the live stream, like live streaming my food delivery, I think we're going to get to a point. I think we're going to get to the point where virtually everything is live streamed. And that, you know, not everybody's going to get viewership, but I think a lot of people are going to still do things on live stream just with like no viewership, just for the simple fact of doing it. Like I don't know, it won't even be about the viewership to people. It'll just be about the fact that they want things documented. It's advantageous to have things documented. And I'm on record on this live stream here talking about my thoughts on how the presidency will evolve. And I've told y'all, eventually it's going to be somebody who has a significant internet presence. And you could argue Trump was the beginning of that as a non-career politician. But I actually think it's going to be even more dramatic than that. I think it's going to get to the point where policy almost doesn't even matter as much. And it's going to come down to, are you a proven trustworthy person? And people are going to gauge that based on your internet presence, how available you are and how available you have been. And people feel like they can connect to you when you're on live. Like, that was another thing that I felt when I was watching Vivek's live stream, was like, early on, you know, I was kind of early on the Vivek train. I was kind of early onto it. And I would watch the live streams, and my comments, you know, they wouldn't get lost in a sea of comments. Kind of like our chat section here. You know, like your comment is going to get seen by somebody, and probably by me, certainly, right? Usually. But then more like Vivek was picking up steam, and it got to the point where, and you know, you had a lot of hate comments too from the other side. The other side would come in there and like blow up his comment section too. But oh yeah, dude. I mean, I would comment something, and that comment would be gone in like 2 seconds. So you knew that it was ever going to see it. But it's awesome to see Vivek sort of practically executing what I've been predicting, that it's going to be a YouTube live streamer, or at least maybe not, you know, it'll at least be a politician that respects the YouTube live stream at a minimum. So yeah, that's when I decided finally, okay, I'm going to do a live stream today, because I was like, you know what? I might have some people that are missing me in the way that I miss Vivek. A little story time as we drove over to Newport. I think I'm going to have to go inside this Bojangles for pickup, if I remember correctly. I'll be right back with the order, and then I'll catch up on the comment section. So if you've got something to say, go ahead and say it now while I'm inside. Jody says, I haven't dashed in 2 weeks. Man, I kind of feel like I haven't. I have been here and there, like barely. But I haven't done like a full-blown actual shift in a minute. What's my best way out of here? Oh, this way? Yeah. What's happening, Thomas? Thomas says, Haley needs to give it up. I hope Trump picks Tucker or Vivek for VP. I would watch the Vivek live stream go almost all day. Oh yeah, he was going live. I mean, that was half the reason I was so engaged with it, was I was impressed. I was just literally motivated by it. And I know for a lot of it I was sick, so I couldn't do anything anyway, but I would go to sleep watching a Vivek live stream in his last event of the day. And I would wake up and he'd already be live again the next day. And, he'd be completely mentally sharp already, well-dressed again. And I'm like, man, I'm getting, it's no wonder. I'm going to make a video pretty soon. I think I'm going to make a video pretty soon titled something along the lines of what I learned from Vivek's campaign. And it's not really about policy even. It's just like, I don't think people realize how far ahead of the average person Vivek is. And I think the point that I want to make in the video is kind of, when we look at human beings that are superior to us in categories, some of them it's really easy. Like nobody sits here and thinks that they can make the NBA or that they could have made the NBA, right? There's not very many. There is a small population of people that I play hoops with that actually think that they just got unlucky, but they could have made it. And it's like, nah, dude. Listen, if you could have made it to the NBA, you would have. They would have found you. And it's easier for people to get over that, because at a certain point, you just weren't born with the physical advantages to even possibly make it happen. That's just the way it is. I'm 26 years old. I'm 5'8"-ish. I'm like 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. and well, now I'm about 155 pounds. I used to be about 135 pounds, 140 in high school. But I have gotten a little more solid lately. I'm 155 now, and I've been at 155 for a minute. But it's like, yeah, I can't possibly make the NBA. But when it comes to mental, people can't seem to understand, hey, man, that can happen with your brain too. Like there's people out here that are the LeBron James of brains, okay? And that would be Vivek. Vivek would be one of those people. He's the LeBron James of brain power, okay? But it's harder for people to accept that because you can't tangibly see it. But people should have the self-awareness to recognize, like, we'll do this one right here, 11:15, 6.5. That'll bring us back from Newport. It's hard.
Head south on Hands Mill Road.
It's hard for people to admit that they're as far away from Vivek in brain capability as they are far away from LeBron in capability. And that's just the way it is. And listen, there's people on both sides of the political equation that could be said for. Because again, so I'm not trying to I'm not making a political statement by saying that. Because in another respect, wisdom and knowledge and, wisdom and IQ can be two different things. So there's incredibly smart people like that on the other side too, where it's just like, hey, buddy, you're never going to compete with them mentally. Don't even you're better off realizing that than pretending like you're ever going to. I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a jerk for saying it out loud, but that's one of the realizations I came to. Like Elon's one of these people. Dude, don't even. I'm not saying don't argue with certain people, but I kind of am saying that. It's like, don't even argue. You're out of your league arguing with, you know what I mean? We did pretty good by not having to wait for this Uber Eats to come through. I don't know if it's...
Turn left on Mount Gallant Road.
I got 20 minutes left. I don't know if I can get this fully delivered in 20 minutes, but if I can, that'll be a $22 first hour. What do we have being said today? We got Brandon here. We got Jehu here. What's up? Tony said, I'm going to be doing a topic for my next video, the gig worker tax credit from COVID. Have you heard about it? Did you do gig work in 2020 or 2021? Well, yeah, I certainly did in 2021. I think 2020 was the year that I tried it for the first time, and I did a handful of deliveries. I remember the first time I was driving home from work from my from my HVAC install job. The first time that I drove home from work and I accepted a DoorDash that was on the way. And so it probably cost me 4 minutes, maybe. And I didn't have to go out of my way for it at all. And I made like $6 or $7. And I was like, I felt like it was life-changing. I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that I can hardly, I'm driving these miles anyway, and it hardly sacrifices any time. And I can add another, quarter hour or half hour of pay doing this on my workday. And I was so happy. And that was 2020. 2021 is the first year that I was making pretty much a full-time attempt at it, because I quit my job. I quit that HVAC job January of 2021. And for the rest of that year, I was pretty much, my income was pretty much gig work. And that was about it. And that's before I started YouTube too. Brandon says you've got at least 12 to 13 new facial hair since your last live stream. Guess that's good. That's good. I'm trying to fill out more in the cheeks. And I've been noticing my upper lip is more and more getting to the point where it's like it clearly wants to be a mustache. But I'm still looking at it, I'm like, I'm not sure I like the look though. But I know I could do it now. But yeah, it's now like on the daily. Like if I don't, I shaved 2 minutes before I went live today on the upper lip, and yeah, if I don't, it's like you can clearly tell. I just don't know if I'm a stash guy. I think I would be if I could fill it completely out. Like if I could grow the full beard, then obviously you would probably maintain the mustache as well. But without the beard, I just don't think it works as well. I was supposed to go to Sharonda's, right? Yeah, okay. I'm at the right spot. Sometimes I have to wait here, but it's a slow Monday lunch shift, so let's hope that they have the food ready. Tony said I donated some of my beard last Tuesday with a 2-inch trim off. All right, I'll be right back with our second order of the day. We've got 15 more minutes. We might be able to do this, y'all. We might be able to pull off a $52 first hour return to the live stream. We're going to do it. We got a 4.5 mile drive back toward the university. I see you, Brandon. Yeah, man, we live in a world now where you make it's a clear joke, but you just gotta tell the dumb people, hey, by the way, that was a joke, because people don't get it. And I used to hear this thing like a certain percentage of people are incapable of picking up on something like sarcasm. They just they'll never get it. And that's tough, man. That's part of the reason we have these problems we have. Is because people can't judge intent, and they can't tell when something's a joke. And for everybody else, for all of us cool people, it's like,
just ahead, keep left to stay on Old York Road using the left 2 lane.
It's like, hey man, it's not my fault that you don't get the joke. Okay, that's on you. But we're trying to make all of the funny, witty, smart people conform to the dumb people, and I refuse. We got Pedro up in the chat. What do you say? Bears signed USC OC. No, that's actually not what I saw. I saw that we hired the former Seattle offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. 3 years coordinating the final year of Russell Wilson in Seattle, and then the last 2 years of them trying to make Geno Smith work out. And I haven't fully let it sink in yet. We interviewed Kingsbury. I saw we interviewed Cliff, who spent the last little bit as the quarterback's coach for Caleb Williams. And I'm not going to lie, that's who I wanted. I thought it made a lot of sense to bring in Cliff. But
in a quarter mile, turn right on Ebenezer Road.
Yeah, Pedro, it's going to be Shane Waldron. It's all right. It's all right. We'll see how it goes.
Turn right on Ebenezer Road.
The reason I wanted Cliff was not. It was deeper than just the fact that he's worked with Caleb Williams. It was because he's got that head coaching experience with the Cardinals, and let me say this: I would not be surprised at all if whoever our offensive coordinator hire was going to be has an opportunity, at least an opportunity, to be the next head coach. I certainly thought that was true if it was going to be Kingsbury. I think Eberflus is kind of skating on thin ice a little bit. And if it doesn't go well this year, next year, then he's probably out. So I thought it was very possible that they were going to hire Cliff Kingsbury as the OC. And then maybe we don't have a great year or a couple bad decisions late, lose a couple games, and then Eberflus is out, and then we just promote Kingsbury. I'm not saying we couldn't still do that. There's a possibility that this Shane Waldron hire ends up becoming the head coach eventually. So I'm excited. I'm still in a place where I have no idea what they're going to do. I know what I want the Bears to do. I want them to draft Caleb Williams, but they keep doing stuff that's like, I have no idea. I could easily see him running it back with Justin Fields. Or I could easily see them trading Justin Fields. If it's true, if what I heard is true that the Falcons are offering the overall pick, I think that's a bunch of bullcrap. But if that's actually true, take it and run. I would take a second round pick for Justin Fields. So if they're going to give you a first, freaking take it. Take it and draft Caleb. And draft another good player at the 9 pick. Tony says, here comes Russ to Chicago. No, there's no reason to do that. Tony says, yes, there is, because Pedro hates Russ. I don't know how you can hate Russell Wilson, man. I've always been a big fan. I've also always been a big fan of Lamar Jackson. And, but it's funny, I've also been a fan of Patrick Mahomes. Like, the guys that I don't like, I mean, it was a really good weekend for me. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Baker to beat the Lions too, but that was probably asking too much. I'm just stoked. Stoked.
Turn right.
Thank God the 49ers beat the Packers, because that was going to really piss me off. But, you know, I got the result that I wanted there, and then
Make a slight left turn.
And then Josh Allen lost again. Oh, it's so fun to me watching him get so close. He's so close yet so far. Oh, it's the most fun thing. And it's really sad because this is the first postseason I can remember where I haven't been able to root for Tom Brady, because the Bears have been so bad for so long. I always shift at this point in the season. I've always shifted from a Bear fan to a Tom Brady fan, and it's been fun for a long time. I had a kind of a secondary rooting interest, but now that he's gone, I'm kind of left to root for. I'm kind of left more to root against certain things. I root against Josh Allen. I root against the Packers, but I also I'm having to figure out, okay, who's going to be the guy that I root for. It's been Mahomes a little bit. Lamar, certainly. I'm a big Lamar guy. And CJ Stroud has blown me away. I'm really impressed with him too. I'll be right back. Brandon said, did I miss your usual Taco Bell breakfast or lunch? No. I'll probably still need to do that. I'm getting hungry actually now. Now that you say that, I'm getting hungry. Brandon said, are there more ads than usual to make up for the 3 weeks of no live streams? No, dude, we've been doing YouTube shorts to make up for the no live streams. Do y'all know that I think I make more from doing a short than I do the live stream? I think that's goofy, but it's been what has happened. Like I had like a couple of these shorts have made me more than $1. And like I don't make a full dollar off of a live stream. It's interesting. But I don't do it for the money anyway. Y'all know that. I DoorDashed as a customer for the first time in a long time last night. Because we got hungry in between. Like there was one point, it was about 5:55 p.m. Eastern. And the Lions were up by 14. And I said, okay, if the Bucks don't score on this drive, then I'm going to go pick up our food. Sure enough, the Bucks scored on the drive and then they stupidly went for 2. I really don't understand that. But anyway, they made it a 1-possession game. And technically they had a chance until like the very, very end. And so then all of a sudden the game was over and there was not enough time for me to go to Taco Bell before the start of Chiefs-Bills. But I told Allison, I'm not missing the start of Chiefs-Bills. So for the first time in a long time, we actually paid to have somebody deliver it to us. Yeah. Jody says you're rich. I know. Yeah, if you can afford to DoorDash, you're multi-millionaire probably. Yeah, so for just me and Allison, we spent $42. Brandon said, was it cold? No, it wasn't bad. We spent $42 on Taco Bell, and because we also had them pick up from Krispy Kreme as well, I told Allison, I'm like, hey, we're doing it. We might as well do it right. Whatever. If you're going to overpay for food, do it right and just do it. So we had them stop at Krispy Kreme too, and they got us some donuts that we're eating for breakfast this week. Brennan said, in 2 more months, we hope to get Dasher Binge sponsor some lives. Oh, man. Oh, Jody said I was talking about the YouTube shorts and you making $1. Yeah, I'm getting all this YouTube money now. No, I'm definitely not rich. It doesn't work out when in 3 consecutive days, you spend $100 on lottery tickets for the YouTube short, and then they all 3 lose. I'm not making enough back to make that completely worth it. But I can justify it because, like, my thought process is eventually I'm going to film one of these lottery tickets and it's going to win. Let me show you all this before I decline it. $4.25 for a 12-item shop and pay. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do is I'm so rusty on these live streams. I forgot to put our earnings pinned in the comments. Current live stream earnings. See, this would be. Wait, I thought we did a DoorDash. Oh, we didn't do a DoorDash. It was a Grubhub. $11.21 on or on Grubhub. And we're expecting $11.15 for the Uber. So that would be a 22.36 first hour. Hello, Red. Brandon said, will there be a Chipmunk remix to any Errand Boy mixtape song? That's actually funny. What I should do, I bet you there's an AI that can do that for me. Dude, yeah, that's actually a hilarious idea. I might actually. Oh, man. Glorified Errand Boy without the glory. Full-time gig worker, at least that's the story. That's what it would sound like. I can't even get my voice up high enough to do it. Don't worry, y'all. Brandon will clip that part right there. He'll make a 4-second clip out of that, and it'll haunt me forever. I'll have to live with that and answer for it. But no, so what I did do is I actually wrote well, I'm going to call it a freestyle, even though it's written. Brandon said, I asked because I listened on 2x speed and it was funny. I don't know how I feel about that. Darn it, man. Now you're going to make... Later today, I'm going to have to go listen to a song or two on 2x speed because I've never done that. I don't know what it sounds like. But yeah, I wrote a freestyle last night. And it's done. I mean, it was one of those where it just wrote itself. Kind of like... I mean, that does seem to happen. I haven't tried to write anything at all since Miserable Clown was written. So it's been a while for me. And last night I just decided, I was like, you know what I could do is I could do a couple freestyles on like popular song, like beats that are mainstream. Because that's what you'll see rappers do sometimes. They'll gain popularity. One of that I found, Token, who is now probably my second favorite rapper on earth right now. One of the ways I found him was because he does these freestyles on songs that you've heard before. So I found a beat that I didn't know about, actually, which is weird. But I'm trying not to spoil what it is. But anyway, last night I wrote the whole thing and it just it's ready to be recorded. What's up, Bud Soda? Bud Soda, I hope you listened to W's in the chat and heard your reference. I hope you heard your name in there. Bud Soda, I gave you a... Bud Soda says, I thank you for that always. Yeah, I put a lyric in there talking about playing poker. And I talk about I took 3 or 4 people all in on one hand and I beat them all. And so now their chairs are empty, and then I was stacking up the chairs. And I made a stack reference to Bud Soda. That's a Bud Soda stack. I say that I won again for like the third consecutive time. Won again back to back. Like I went, you know, talking about how I win at the game of life. And I've got a ring, bracelet, and plaque. That's 3 wins. That's a WWW. What's next? A dot? That's a triple dub. 3 W's, triple dub. I'm Russell Westbrook with a shot. I don't know. I think there's some clever wordplay going on there. What do we have here? This is hilarious. This is incredibly similar to the first order we started out with, 1046 this time, to go back out to Newport. Like, same area. Let's do it, man. Listen, it worked for us the first time. Going out to Newport, it worked. Let's do it again. Hello, Nomadic Gig Econ Mom. But do it. $10+ always. Yep, we're going to do it. I enjoy hearing from all y'all in my first day back. It's good to see your faces in the chat. See, I mean, you got to remember one thing about me is I'm going to remember where I came from, y'all. when I'm a booming YouTuber and everything's going right for me, I'm going to remember my GigTube roots and all the people that supported me early. And this is proof of it right here. I'm doing all these scratch off shorts, and I've gotten like 100 subscribers, I think, probably at least, in kind of in short order. It's in some respects it's worked out for me a little bit. And not that it's a complete content shift, and not that that's what my channel is going to be. I'm always going to be I'm always going to have a lot going on. That's why you're about to see another freestyle drop in the next few days. But anyway, yeah, now I'm live for the first time since I started doing those. And do you see any of those people in the comments right here? I don't see any of those people. It's my GigTube people that care about me. Respect to the gig community. They're usually pretty busy at this sub shop. We're probably going to have to wait for this sandwich to be made. Tight parking over here too, boy. What's being said now? Giggity says, I've been busy but listening. Hey, is Tony still here? I don't know if Tony's here. Look who I'm picking up for. Lisa. 4 items: turkey and cheese sub, ham and turkey sub, chips, and a macaroni salad. No drinks. So Brandon said I started watching The Officer Tatum. Yeah, I know who that is. You seem like more of a you'd be more of a Hodge Twins guy though. I love the Hodge Twins. I met the Hodge Twins a handful of years ago in Charlotte. I freaking love those guys. Do you know the Gypsy Rose story? Yes. Yes. And Bud Soda says, I hate those shorts. I hate the lottery. Work at a convenience store for a few months. You'll understand why. Yeah, no, there's some depressing stuff you'll see, man. These people will go in on their lunch break and, you know, they're not doing too well financially. But what they'll do is they'll see, the problem is if you're going to buy, okay, if you're going to buy lottery tickets, just buy them and live with the result. And they win, pocket the money. But what they'll do is they'll throw $50 on lottery tickets. And if they win 35 back, they don't ask for money. They don't ask for the money back. They just want $35 worth of tickets now. And they'll do that until it dwindles to zero. And it's like, dude, nah. And they're not scratching them off on YouTube so that they can at least make $1 back. I've found more and more, like, that's the key. That's the key. I can mitigate my loss a little bit by just throwing a YouTube short about it. Bud Soda says they're the worst. They're Ken and Karen demanding types and hold you up the whole line, chewing you out that their play card wouldn't read, and you have to manually enter it. Yeah, that's annoying. Giggity said I was watching a Hodge Twin video just before you went live. I haven't watched them in a minute. I need to get back. It's probably been several months since I watched a video, so I don't know what they've been up to recently. Okay, maybe we've sat here for long enough that this sub sandwich is going to be ready. Let me go inside. I'll be right back. Off we go. Back to Newport. We're rocking a somewhat high mileage day today, but we're still we're still doing $1.25 or $1.30 per mile so far, I would say. I don't know. Y'all are probably keeping up with it better than I am. We're over $1 an hour still. And we're knocking out 10 I mean, what's our average order so far? 11, basically $11. Not bad. This is not a bad way to make a living when it's actually active. But more and more, I'm growing increasingly concerned it's not active enough for me. Or maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just because I've been sick for most of the year so far. That's another reason y'all haven't seen a lot of me. And I think you can tell it in my voice in some of the shorts, especially the early on. For a couple of those days I was really low on energy. I was really bad off, and it was all I could do to muster up the strength to do that scratch off. Because I was like narrating what was going on as I was doing it, and I just didn't feel good at all. But I figured since I can't work, the least I can do is to put up a YouTube short every day and still feel like I did at least something productive, even a little bit. Try to get my sub count up a little bit. Giggity said the Hodge Twins old stuff is the best. I agree. So there's been times where people do a really good job of putting up compilation videos on YouTube. And so I don't even watch their videos. I just watch these compilation videos of them just being hilarious. Their live stuff was pretty good too. I mean, they weren't bad. The live comedy show was good. I got to ask them a question in person. They answered my question, and then after the show, I got to meet them and shake their hands and take a picture. And Allison was there with me. And you know what's weird is my takeaway all these years later is their hands were freaking soft. It caught me completely off guard. Like when I shook their hand, I was like, what the? Their hands were so soft. I haven't heard from Walmart Spark yet. Back during Christmas and the New Year, I got several Sparks that were like probably $35-$40, and they were shop and pays, but they would be like 2 to 3 mile deliveries. Not far from the shopping center at all. And I realized I've actually been sleeping on these. They're actually not that hard. Even a 50-item shop and pay, it's actually not that bad. It's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I've gotten to the point where I actually hope for that. Like when we drive out to Newport, I'm like, hey, give me a $35 30-item shop and pay right now. And there's an Aldi over here too. Sometimes DoorDash will hit you with the Aldi Shop and Pay. And that's not that bad either. A little 15-item Aldi Shop and Pay. You can get it done pretty quick. Another thing that has happened in the last few days that I'm excited about is Peanut. Yep. You heard me right. I probably said exactly what you think I said. I said Peanut. Lil Dicky dropped his album Peanut. What's up, Cray Cray? Yeah, dude. Yesterday I was cleaning up my house before the football game, and my TV's loud enough that we can hear it throughout the house, you know. So I was cleaning up in different rooms, and I had the TV on full blast volume on Peanut, and we just listened from start to finish. And I've been watching his TV show, Dave, and a lot of the songs are like sneak peeked on that show, so I knew what to expect. But it's good though. Like there's a couple songs that are they're like actually decent, actually not just a complete joke. There's a song called Harrison Avenue that I think is really well done. Brandon says, did you see the earlobe Joe Biden controversy? Rogan was talking about it. No. It rings a bell. I feel like this wasn't recent though, right? Like what you're describing rings a bell to me, but from quite a while ago. But it's been so long I can't hardly remember what. It's something about his ears are totally different, and it suggests that maybe it might be an entirely different person. I can't remember. I don't think Joe Biden at this point really deserves a lot of my attention. He's so, he's so far gone. Like, I'm not even sure he exists. Brandon says he recently spoke about it. Basically, the earlobes. Hold up. Basically, the earlobes don't change, and it's obvious his have changed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I've heard Royce White say, and he's starting to convince me a little bit. It's like, are we sure that all these people out here are real? Are we sure? Because I'm at the point now where I think alien life is pretty obviously true. I think it's kind of ridiculous to think that aliens don't exist. So then we have to figure out at what scale do they exist, and do they live here, and are they even among us? And they're fooling us because they look like us. I think it's possible. Maybe some of these people aren't even human. Maybe some of these people, like Royce says, hey, you got all these bots on the internet, and people act like bots are just empty accounts that just spam comment. That might not be the full extent of what a bot is. There could be people out here that we think are humans that are actually bots. And the more and more I think about it, the more it starts to explain some things. Because you think, man, how does that even happen? But it somewhat explains some things if some of these people are just bots. And then I saw when Jamie Foxx was sick, and he made some video, and people were looking at the video and like, wait a second, this doesn't even. Are we sure this is even him? And I took a look at it. I don't know. How am I supposed to know? What do I know? I don't know stuff. What I do know are traits that I try to execute. Traits of maturity. And some of those include knowing what I don't know and being comfortable with it. And being communicative about it. That's what cracks me up about all these people that, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not. I'm just man, and you know all these leftists talk about how open-minded they are, and then they call you a conspiracy theorist. No, man, I'm actually open-minded, and I know my own limits, and I know I'm not smarter than everybody else in the world, which makes things very possible. And then so you apply that attitude to your life and your thought processes, and they use that. They act like that's a bad thing, and they use it as an insult. And I'm like, hang on, I thought in this respect you want me to be open-minded, but in other respects you don't want me to be open-minded. What? That doesn't make sense to me. All right, we've arrived at the destination. Hello, Rodney. We're exactly an hour and a half into the live stream, and we've brought in 3282. Hello? Hello? Man, I've been getting this entirely new round of scam callers. So I just blocked the numbers, you know. I feel like I have to answer them because that could have been this customer right here. So I answer it and I just blocked the number. For a while there, I was doing really good, and I felt like I had made a lot of progress, and I was not getting scam called anymore. But now all of a sudden, there's a whole new round of them. Hold up, which? I think I go left. Yep. Brandon said I would bet money that these high-performing OnlyFans models are all using AI, not just to perfect themselves, but also to give attention to their. Oh yeah, no, I've heard about that for sure. Yeah, dude. Well, of course, that was you know, if you're familiar with the Andrew Tate pimp school, pimp class, pimping. One of the things that he would talk about is that he would have his girls, they would not be the ones responding to messages. It sounds a little gay to me, you know. It sounds a little gay, but he said that he oftentimes he was the one responding to the messages, because his justification for it was, well, my ladies are ladies, so like they don't know as well how a guy wants to be spoken to than I do as a guy. So he would do the messaging because he's like, I know as a guy what I would want to hear. And yeah, that's a little questionable. But and that's not using AI, but it's similar in terms of the female outsources that. And so yeah, I'm sure that's happening. Or just set a program where, okay, maybe it is the actual, maybe the message is the actual original thought of the thought. But it's like systematic. And you could have it doing a rinse and repeat routine of, okay, this is the second person, this is the second message that a new subscriber is going to get. Put it into my program, and this is the third message they're going to get, and this is the fourth, and you could have it be a passive passive communication, where yeah, it's kind of, but it's also like, it's also not. You just did it. You did the work previously, and now it's just passive. But Soda said, put the clutter in your trunk, see if you can get a decent lift to go home. Not a bad idea. What I might do is put the clutter in the trunk if I get a decent lift. I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot. What I'm hoping for is a spark. Rodney says, so does anyone think the NFL is rigged? Back and forth, like maybe some things. Here's my problem though, like on an individual by individual basis, for the most part, you don't have athletes engaged with any riggery. Like if you actually know any of these human beings that are professional athletes, they're not, there's no rigged stuff going on. Everybody's really trying their hardest. And if that's true, could you pay off the ref? I've never met a ref before. Could you work with the refs to do it? Yes. But I don't think you're working with the athletes to do it. And if you're not working with the athletes to do it, there's only so much you can really do. And at that point, why rig it? So much you're printing money. No matter what the outcome is, you're printing money. So why risk it? Then again, I see, I thought one of the more egregious calls of the year was who were they playing? Was it? I forget who the Chiefs were playing, but they threw a deep ball late in the game, and I think it was MVS. He got clearly interfered with, and the Chiefs ended up losing that game because of the no call. And in that scenario, I was like, man, that just doesn't feel right. But Soda says, I like the Niners, but they should have lost the ball to a fumble. I prefer college ball because of that. They seem to just enforce the rules and let them play. NBA, same way, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I know a lot of people are upset because, the Lakers get a lot of, the Lakers are, I think, the highest in terms of fouls drawn for, I think it's more than just this year, too. I think it's a couple years in a row. And everybody's like, oh, calls to LeBron. And it's like, well, he plays at times, he plays a physical brand of basketball. I mean, look at the guy. He's a football player playing basketball. So, it's like, yeah, I mean, a body like that's going to be more prone to drawing fouls because that's what he does. I don't think it's just I don't think it comes down to something as simple as the star gets the call. It comes down to style of play. And because if you compare it with the fact that they're one of the teams that shoots threes less often. And it's like, yeah, man, I'm going to draw more fouls than you. If you keep just coming down the court and shooting a three as soon as you're open, you're going to draw any fouls. So, and that's fine. And you can hit your threes and you can win the game. Or you can miss your threes. But I'm going to come down the court and we're going to do a couple actions. And yeah, there might be fouls drawn because of that. Because we're not just going to shoot as fast as possible. I got mixed feelings on this one. This would be $7.50 for 6.5 miles. And we'd end up right where we started. I'm gonna actually turn that down. We'd be going the wrong direction. Oh, we had a spark offer for like 1 second and then it went away. Here it is. This would be 3 star. I'm going to accept it. Offer no longer available. Man, that I accepted that really, really quick and I still didn't get it. Wow. Brandon said they said the average salary of an NFL water boy is 60 grand. I heard that one time and I thought, dude, what? I should actually do that. I wonder what the qualifications are for that. Like I bet even to be an NFL water boy, I bet there's some sort of medical background or certification or instruction that these people have received. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wonder if they see if these people are like somewhat capable of Steve says a PhD in astrophysics. No, but seriously, like Rodney says it's most likely who you know. Yeah. There's a lot of nepotism in football. Allison calls them nepo babies. You know, you got Ian Eagle's son out here now doing football games. You got even Joe Buck, nepo baby. Shanahan, nepo baby. Now Shanahan's impressing me. Kyle Shanahan is impressing me. He's earning it. You got Bill Belichick's son out here, nepo baby. You got, man, I mean, I feel like we could go on and on and on. Rex Ryan, nepo baby. Who? Chris Collinsworth. What's his freaking Chris Collinsworth? Is it Collinsworth? His freaking son out here now, nepo baby. For the record, I do have Lyft on. We're active. We're just not getting anything. So I could go. Oh man, should I go into the Walmart hot bar for lunch? Y'all know I like that. Oh, dude, the Walmart hot bar, boneless chicken, mac and cheese, and corn is underrated. Brandon says, I feel like there's got to be catering orders you're missing. Yeah, I haven't texted delivered in forever. I forgot to be doing that. Let me go ahead and do that for today. Well, I forgot what their number is. Do I not have it? I thought I had it saved. Dude, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go into this Walmart and get myself. I'll be back. Hopefully by the time I come back, we'll have accepted an order to do. Steve said everyone might poo-poo on nepotism, but hey, if my dad was someone big besides what I think of him, I wouldn't complain. Yeah, you know who like the biggest nepo baby in the world is? Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey's daughter, rubs me the wrong way. How big of a nepo baby she is. I don't know. Then again, there's some people that I like that are nepo babies. You could argue Donald Trump's a nepo baby. You really could. You know. I don't know though. I feel like there's a certain bar. There's a certain bar you hit where you can like avoid being a nepo baby. If you like 10x or 100x your original position, then I feel like you can avoid. Like Kyle Shanahan, I think is going to be one that proves that on his own merit, he's incredibly worthy. I'll be right back, y'all. Hold it down for me. Giggity said, does Hunter Biden qualify as a nepo baby? Yes, absolutely. Y'all, I don't have anything yet. No orders. Delivered 58973. Okay. Let's go ahead and handle that. What do you say? Like available? Yeah. Available. You have been successfully added to the order waiting queue. Oh, y'all heard the parking lot drama right here? Yeah. Brandon said, I peeped you watching some of Mario's stuff, Welty. Yeah, try to support. I saw he made the 1,000 subscribers without my help. I mean, I looked at it I was like, should I make a community post or what? But by the time I looked at it, he'd already hit 1,000 subscribers. So, I mean, dude's pulling views anyway. Like, I saw his post last night. I mean, these things are getting views. Let's see what's going on here. Speaking of getting views, Tony the Driven Dad's video popped off too. Yeah, I mean, Mateo's vlogs are these things are averaging 300 views a day. His shorts are having success here and there too, every once in a while. Yep. Yeah, Tony's last video, 700 views. Two videos before that, 900 views. 3 videos before that, 1,500 views. Popping off. Dude, people. Oh, hold up. No, we're not about to do that. We're not doing that. Dude, people love watching a get out of debt story. I'm telling you. Your views will pop off if you do that. I think it's because so many people relate to it. Giggity said Bud Soda should try it. Brandon said this guy from Ohio Valley Dasher is 2 weeks on YouTube and got 2,000 subs. I don't get GigTube sometimes. Some of this stuff is random, man. I've become more and more comfortable with the idea that a lot of this stuff on YouTube's random. The algorithm picks somebody they like, and then there you go. Tony says, bro, this tax thing I was telling you about, 11K for Lisa and I, this will help. What? Are you for real? Yeah, man. That's huge. Gig work COVID money. Yeah, I guess I need more information on it. I wonder if I'm going to qualify for some of that. Tony said, take it or Joe Biden keeps it. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It's good. This is hitting the spot for me. This one's a little burnt, but, you know. Sounds like they're reading an audio book. They're listening to an audio book in the car. Have y'all seen those? I see these YouTube shorts of this guy that sits in his car and he rolls the windows down in public places, and he's listening to 50 Ray. And he's got it on like full blast where the whole parking lot can hear it. Just sitting there with a straight face like nothing. Like it's nothing. Giggity said, still not as graphic as some hip hop songs. Yeah, not these. Yeah, I didn't know about 50 Shades of Grey until recently. I mean, I knew what it was. I'd heard of it. But I didn't understand just quite how out there it is. And given how mainstream it was, I was like, wow, man. Wow, people are freaky. Sheesh. I mean, I thought it was just a very graphic, traditional. I thought it was going to be a traditional love story with you just see a lot. Nah, man. No. That's intense stuff, man. And in the end, you're clearly left to think that it's a good ending. They end up together, spoiler alert, whatever. It's been, I think it's not long enough that I can spoil it. They end up together, they've got a kid, and they've got another one on the way, or something like that. Or they've got two already, or something like that. And they're playing in the yard at the new house. And so you're thinking like, oh, it worked out. They were meant to be together. But I'm still left with this, like, I don't agree. I couldn't, I can't imagine being with somebody like that. I mean, from their first few interactions in the first movie, to me, it's very clear. You should not be with this man. No, you should not. End of discussion. The answer is no. Brandon asks, did Allison start her channel? Not yet. It's going to happen, though, but there's something I need to do before she's willing to start. And I've agreed to do it, so just give me some time. I've been working on it. She has started her TikTok, which I will announce that when it's time. But she started. We for Christmas we got this book, and I think we actually mentioned it in one of the videos, but it's got like 50 dates in it, but you don't know what they are ahead of time, and you scratch them off like a lottery ticket. You scratch it off, and then you see what you're about to do. And we've done 2 of the dates so far this year, and we filmed the first one. We filmed, and because she wanted to make a little TikTok about it. So I'm actually in a TikTok that y'all don't know about, but you'll know about it someday. And it's funny, we had about, I would say we've had about 15 minutes of footage, and she had to get it down to 2 minutes for the TikTok. She wanted it to be a 2-minute video. And I was like, darn it. When I watched her published edit, I'm like, dude, you took my funny jokes out of this. And she was like, well, you don't understand. Like, I'm a teacher. Like, some of the jokes you made, I'm not going to do that on my channel. And I was like, okay, I respect that. But we still have the raw footage of the whole 15. So I think I might, for y'all, up with a behind the scenes where it includes the funny jokes, okay? Because y'all know I don't give a crap. I don't care. And it's no shade. Like, obviously, if I was it's just part of the game. If you're a teacher, you got to play by different rules, for sure. But, you know, that my jokes weren't like, my jokes weren't obscene. But I made a COVID joke, and I made a joke about blind people. Okay? I made a joke about blind people. I wonder how long we're going to have to sit here before we get an order, y'all. I'd like to get home soon. I'm going to roll around the parking lot just to keep the car warmed up. I'm looking for some shade now. It's just like the weirdest weather, man. In the morning, it's like 20 degrees. But by the time it's lunchtime, I want to like get out of the sun, you know? There's some shade right there. Give me that. Tony says this lunch shift has been a bust for me too. Yeah, we were doing good for a minute there, but I'm just stuck in Newport. My house is far enough of a drive home that I don't want to go back. I want to get paid to drive back home. Hello? Hello? There's another number I can block. Brandon said, I wrote jokes about blind people before, but they didn't laugh because they couldn't read them. Oh, wait a second. We got a Matt Walsh video. I don't know if y'all know who Matt Walsh is, but we got a Matt Walsh video one day ago about Panera. I feel like that, I feel like that is a topic that makes sense on my channel. Let's listen to it. We can at least entertain ourselves while we wait. Says a video goes viral after Panera refuses to take this mom's order. Who's in the wrong?
So our daily cancellation today on a Friday is all about a dispute at a drive-through lane. Needless to say, this is a deeply important issue, and it's one that has evoked strong feelings from the public. There's a lot to say about this random video of two people arguing in a drive-through lane, and yet still most people are missing some of the nuances and complexities of this issue. So
y'all know I've gotten in a few drive-through arguments as well. Been there, done that. I understand. Now, Panera, I didn't know Panera did a drive-through. The Panera's over here by me, they don't have a drive-through, so that's news to me. That's news to me.
Go through them today. As New York Post reports this week, a video has gone viral of a mom at a Panera Bread drive-thru trying to order her meal, while the Panera Bread employee on the other end refuses to take the order because the woman's daughter is allegedly screaming. And I should tell you that, perhaps as you'd already expect, thousands of people have reacted to this clip, and the Peanut Gallery's verdict is almost unanimously on the Panera Bread employee's side. So everybody agrees that the customer, who some have dubbed Karen, is in the wrong here. And let's watch the video and see if the internet got this one right, which of course they didn't, but let's watch it.
So you are going to refuse to take my order because my child was screaming?
Yes, I have the right to do that. You're more than welcome to come inside, or you can place an order online and we'll make it for you.
And what is really, like, you're going to not take my order?
Yes, ma'am, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Well, I do have this on video, and I will be emailing corporate because that's just, like, completely rude. I cannot come inside because my daughter does not have shoes on. Do you understand that?
No, I understand, but you're also more than welcome to order through online as well.
So you want me to take an extra 20 minutes and order online? That's not convenient to me. It's your job to take orders and stuff, and this is ridiculous. So I'd like you to take my order, please.
Okay, I will be happy to take your order as long as your daughter doesn't scream, all right?
I think that's a pretty good decision on your part.
Okay, I don't need this attitude.
Okay, now let's walk through this.
Well, in the video, I only heard one scream. It must have been pretty egregious. But I will say before we listen to Matt, yeah, I get it. Like, screaming bothers me too. I'm like, dude, calm, relax, quiet down. I'm not into kids screaming, yelling. And don't, because the other thing is, it's not like I don't, it's not like I just don't relate. I was a kid at one point. I didn't holler like that. I wasn't yelling like that. I knew better. I wasn't screaming and yelling like that. So I don't have a lot of patience for it.
3 points of analysis. First of all, we can't even talk about the dispute until we deal with the fact that this woman went to a Panera Bread drive-thru in the first place.
There you go, Matt. Ain't that the truth? We're still trying to figure out what the price is, by the way. We're going to find out. Hashtag Panera price in the live chat.
Like, there is simply no good reason, there's no valid excuse to ever go to a Panera Bread drive-thru. Panera sells high school cafeteria caliber food at sit-down restaurant prices. I mean, it's the worst of all worlds. You get the prices of a sit-down restaurant place with quality meals. The sandwiches are bland. The baked goods are stale and depressing. The soups are Campbell's tier at best. I mean, they taste like something that was in a can that's been sitting in your pantry.
It does.
The salads are salads. So it's a disaster all around. And Panera is awful for every meal, but I think breakfast is the worst. Panera breakfast tastes like the continental breakfast that you would get at like the Comfort Inn down the street. Breakfast is complimentary at least. Far better than what they serve at Panera. Panera coffee is an abomination that cries out to God.
I don't know about that. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never had it, so I can't give you my opinion on Panera's coffee. I have no idea.
For vengeance. If I served you, and I think this is true, if I served you Panera coffee and I didn't tell you it was coffee, you wouldn't know what it was supposed to be. You would be flummoxed. You would have no idea what you're ingesting. It's this lukewarm, dull, weak uninspired, sort of vaguely caffeinated liquid substance. And again, Panera commits all of these culinary sins while charging premium prices for them. So that's what makes it so bad. So Panera is terrible. That's the first thing. You shouldn't be there. Second, with that established, we move to the employee. Now, as mentioned, most people are on his side. And that's no surprise, given that most people are stupid. And now the woman is not blameless here, which I'll explain in a moment, but neither is the employee. Okay, we can't know what was happening before the video began.
Yeah.
We can't know how much screaming the child was doing, but I think it's fair to assume that it was on par with what we heard in the video. And yes, we could hear a couple of outbursts from the child in the background, and children do that sometimes. They're known to do that, but it's nowhere near a level of noise that would make it impossible to take the woman's order.
I do agree. Like, by the time the video is being taken, either she's gotten the child to calm down, or it just isn't that bad. I mean, that was at least a 60-second video we listened to, and I heard the kid scream once. That's not abnormal.
A little annoying and slightly distracting, but you can still do your job. You can still do the thing you're paid to do. The only thing you're paid to do is to stand there and take the orders of the customers. And the idea that you can have someone say, "Well, I'd rather not with you. You displease me. You displease me. Please continue on. I'm displeased. I won't take your order." And the fact that everyone's on this guy's side, are you kidding me? Even if the screaming was a little worse before the video started, that's also possible. Still, it seems unlikely that the drive-through worker was literally unable to complete the order. All signs point to the fact that the Panera employee simply found the child's whining irritating, and so he decided that he wasn't going to do his job. And he says, "I have the right to not take your order." No, you don't, bud. Actually, you don't have the right. It's Panera Bread decides. You work for them. They decide. And I'm pretty sure does Panera Bread have a policy that you don't have to take an order if there's a child crying in the background? Is that their policy, really? I'm pretty sure it's not. So no, you don't have the right. Do your freaking job. That's just not how it works, or at least not how it should work. But increasingly, it does work this way because the sense of entitlement in this country is out of control. And it's particularly glaring in the service industry where, and nobody wants to call this out or talk about it because like you sound elitist or something, but we all know it. You go into these places that the workers are visibly and audibly angry that they're already angry that you showed up in the first place to make them do their job. And everyone demands a tip for everything, no matter how shoddy the performance is. And employees think nothing of openly complaining about their customers and lecturing them, sometimes on social media. And so I see this incident as part of that whole picture. Now, I'm more old school, as you know. I have a traditional mentality about these things, which is to say I have the right mentality about these things.
Yeah, but by the way, Matt Walsh has like a bunch of kids, so doesn't shock me. I'm sure he's had instances where his kids are acting goofy. So he's he's biased. A little biased.
And my mentality is this: do your damn job. Just do your job. Yeah, it's difficult. The kid's crying. I don't care. Do your job anyway. It's still your job. Just do it. You're annoyed, you're sad, you're upset, your tummy hurts. I don't care. Do your job. I say this as a general principle. It applies to everybody, all industries. We have reached a crisis level of people not simply doing their damned jobs. But this is how I was raised. In fact, I can remember when I first started working as a teenager, and I would work these kind of service jobs, and I did a lot of them. And I would come home after my shift, and I'd complain to my parents about all the annoying customers and the incompetent managers and how happy I was in my job, and I don't want to go on. And my dad would look at me and say, like, "Do you think the point of your job is to make you happy? Do you think that's why you're there? No. The point of your job is to fulfill your responsibilities, to do what your boss asks you to do, and to earn a paycheck. So it doesn't matter whether it makes you happy or not. That's what you're supposed to do." News for you. There's millions of people go to work every day and they're not happy doing what they do, but they do it anyway. Responsibility. But, you know, this is what I would hear growing up. It's glaringly apparent that many people today do not have dads at home who will give speeches like that. So instead, we end up in exactly the situation we find ourselves in. You know, like that guy, I don't know who that guy was. It sounded like a younger guy. Sounded like probably a teenager or something. I would hope that if he's got a dad at home, like if that was my son and I heard that video, that kid's going to have problems when he gets home with me. Okay, because I want to say, first of all, do your job. Second of all, don't speak that disrespectfully to someone. This woman, do not disrespect her that way. Telling her to adjust her attitude. Who the hell do you think you are? Like this.
Oh wait, hold up. I actually agree with I actually agree with telling people to adjust their attitude. I do that quite often. You gotta be able to look somebody in the face and say, hey, watch your tone. Watch your tone when you talk to me. Check your attitude. This is not personal. I definitely believe that. Oh yeah, I do that on the regular. It works too, man. People aren't used to being told to watch their tone. Hey, watch your tone. I'm making the decision to just start, driving home. It's going to hurt my dollar per mile a little bit. It's going to bring my dollar per mile for the shift back down closer to $1 per mile. We might be a little bit better than $1 per mile. A dollar and some change. But no, I disagree with Matt Walsh on this part. Don't confront people about their attitudes? No.
This is the kind of message that kids need to hear, and they don't. Third, with all that said, I still cannot take this woman's side. My contrarianism can only take me so far on this one. Now, yes, I think she's right to expect that her order should be taken. Yes, I understand why she doesn't want to go in order because her kid doesn't have shoes. And I know there are some people online who are saying, why does your kid have shoes? You know, because if you're a non-parent, you might be judgmental about that. But parents understand that sometimes you need to leave the house. Your kid has lost her shoes the 7th time this week, and you got to go, and you're not going to be going inside anywhere anyway. So like, forget it, never mind, you don't need your shoes. We've all been there. So I'm with this woman every shoeless step of the way, except for one point. She recorded and posted it. You know, not every minor dispute with a stranger needs to become content for public consumption. It is possible, believe it or not, to simply have a disagreement with another person, one where they are wrong, and have a contentious back and forth, and then it ends, and you move on with your life, and that's it. It's like, it's possible to do that. And before the internet, that's what everyone did all the time. Can you believe it? People would have, get into conflicts, you get into arguments, you would get, someone would wrong you in some small way, and it just happened, and you experienced it, and it kind of sucked, and then you kept living.
That's I don't know, that's actually like it depends. It depends on where and what time period you lived in. Because yeah, I mean, you give an attitude to the wrong guy back in the day, you might be challenged to a duel, a good old-fashioned duel. Yeah, and it used to be more common that when there weren't cameras everywhere and things weren't filmed all the time, you would, you would settle things hand-to-hand combat style. And now that doesn't really happen. Hardly at all. And so what ends up happening is instead of somebody throwing a punch or a shove or a slap, what you end up happening is they pull out their phone instead because they know they can hurt you that way. Because now, buddy, hey, you better watch what you say because you say something stupid now, and you could easily be fired tomorrow, Matthew. So. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before. Certainly, dude. I've pulled out my phone, and so usually what I'll say is, I'll say something along the lines of, I'll say something along the lines of like, I want the content, or hey buddy, this is 1,000 views minimum for me. So keep it up. I've done that. By the way, wow, we are coming to the end here, unless something miraculous happens. We will have done this entire shift without doing a door. And that right there, that fact right there is why I'm getting really concerned about the idea of doing this full time for much longer. That's not sustainable at all. So thankfully we're going to end up running this to like a 3-hour live stream. So I would have made about $11 an hour. Yeah, man. Thankfully we had 2 Grubhubs and 1 Uber come through. But this ain't working. Brandon says, I pull out my phone and say, World Star Hip Hop. Brandon said, I like when this channel discussed serious topics like Glitchgate. Dang, man. Yep, I don't know. We're gonna have to change something up. Giggity says you should be at $75 by now. Yeah, well, around it. 60, 70. I mean, I'd be fine with 60. I'd be fine with $60 on the node on, efficient mileage. I'm cool with that. But like y'all used to think it was funny when I would like barely squeeze out $50 in a 3.5 hour live stream. And now like that has turned into, can I squeeze out $35? And then it's like, well, man, what are we doing here? I can't just go out twice for 2 to 3 hours and make $35 each time, twice a day, and call that a living. So the wheels are spinning for me. Definitely mentally, I'm mentally thinking about a pivot. And we'll keep crossing our fingers that something magical happens on YouTube or who knows. I mean, I'm probably not going to buy another $50 lottery ticket. That was a chance, though, man. We took a swing. Listen, sometimes in life you just got to take the swing. And we took it and we struck out. So got to go find a different sport now, I guess. Now, if it doesn't work for me in baseball, we'll go try hockey or something. I've never played hockey before, but field hockey maybe. I feel like field hockey is just man, what's that sport called where you got that little net and it's like trendy right now and a bunch of rich white kids play it? You just run around with this little looks like a hockey stick, but it's a net on the end of it. This little ball, and you just chuck it into the what's that sport called? No, not pickleball. I'm talking about it's like an actual legitimate sport people play. Okay. Lacrosse. Yeah, lacrosse. That's it. I don't know how I couldn't think of the word lacrosse. Yeah, dude. So $32.82, little short of 3 hours. I mean, I spent an hour worth of my work on lunch. I just ate half the money I made. So yeah, I don't know how often we're gonna do this anymore. Like, I don't think y'all should expect me to be live every day this week. Certainly not every day. Certainly not, because I'm not about to keep doing this. I'm not signing up for gig work at $10 an hour. So we'll see how long this lasts. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I wanted to go live today just because we had so many things to talk about. I knew that I could film the time, or I knew that I could fill the time with discussion about some things that have been happening in the start of 2024. You going to like donate plasma for a month or so and bang out some videos, because I've got several videos I want to make that could hopefully continue to increase my sub count and just see where we're at. But that might buy me about a month. But I'm gonna be thinking about what do I need to do here, because and I don't think something as simple as like getting a second Amazon Flex account changes the game for me. I don't I don't think it's as simple as that. Because even back when I was doing Amazon Flex, that I was averaging 1 shift a week, maybe. On a good week, I'd get 2 shifts a week. That'd be an $200 or $250 ish. But that's on a good week. So like on an average week, I'm making an extra $100 waking up early one day. That's not going to change the game enough for me. So I've really got to do some thinking. It just pisses me off because I'm in this really awkward stage where I don't know. I'm just seen on paper as unqualified for a lot of things that I would want to try to do if I were going to go back into a workforce mode. And for a while, I've been looking at my YouTube channel as kind of a resume of, hey, here's some skills being demonstrated that are somewhat unusual. I just don't know who they're valuable to, though. But things like creativity and wit and the ability to speak at least somewhat proficiently. I just don't know. It's been a minute since I was in the workforce anyway. I do know that the 4-year college degree is kind of losing its value. So the fact that I don't have one is maybe becoming a smaller issue for me, hopefully. Good Lord, Brandon. Brandon says you need to widen your nostrils to make it big on GigTube. That worked for Pedro. Golly. Brandon said you could always start an illegal dogfighting ring with your rover dogs. Yeah. All right, I'll spend the rest of the day thinking on that one. Yeah. That'll be my goal for the next live stream is I need to come with a better idea than that. I think I can accomplish that. I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. I hope it's been better for y'all. And we'll see you next time on Welty. It'll be an upload. It'll be a video upload. I'm going to go back to doing that more. So y'all have a good afternoon.